Bill Belichick could soon be named the Falcons head coach. Ian Rappaport seems to indicate that things are starting to ramp up and maybe get close to it being finalized. It could be Bill to the Falcons, which is just strange because you can't picture Bill being with such a loser type of team like the Falcons.
I wonder if the
loser division.
I wonder if the anti-Belichick people, meaning like had enough of it, frustrated with the way the team was the last 3 years, are rooting for this, to where you go to that type of team instead of a Chargers team where you could be in right back divisional round potentially. Cowboys, you're on primetime every day, every damn weekend.
I think the Patriots should consider themselves lucky that he's going to go to a team like Atlanta.
I agree.
Definitely.
They should be thankful that he's going to Atlanta, because if it were Dallas...
You don't care about Atlanta. That's why.
As I said, if it were Dallas or it were the Chargers, or crazy as it sounds, but Bert Breer and Scott Zolak 6 weeks ago told you the Jets were in play.
Zoe had it first.
Zoe had it first. He wants to take that claim. He had that first. So if he weren't there, you've got good rosters, good teams, and a chance for him to win a lot right away and win more than the Patriots. So I was kind of rooting for that Dallas thing, because that would be great fun. And it should serve as motivation. Here's why it's different from Tom Brady. Brady's a player, right? So a player to a coach / executive in Bill Belichick is not going to mean to an entire organization in terms of the people running the roster and have the most control over wins and losses.
Yeah.
It just doesn't register the same way it does Bill Belichick with guys like Gerard Mayo and Robert Kraft, who are now fully running the operation. Gerard Mayo has to prove that he's better at this stage in the game than Bill Belichick is.
Yep.
Gerard Mayo's taking over for what is considered the best coach this team and this league has maybe ever seen. So he's got a lot to prove that he's better than the guy was a year ago, right? I've got to be better than what he was doing.
He said that yesterday. We're going to be better.
And the owner has to prove that I made the right call. I made the right call in letting Bill go. They've got a lot on the line. There's risk in firing Bill Belichick and hiring an inexperienced coach in Gerard Mayo. You're either going to look really good and look brilliant, or you're going to look stupid. There's really not a ton of gray area. Like, that's going to happen at some point.
From your standpoint, you don't want him to accelerate fast. You don't want them to be like 9-2. Then you're like pulling out your hair. Like, we were able to chart it with Brady. Like, that was a fun thing from a player standpoint. That guy touched the ball every play on offense. And 44 touchdowns or 41, whatever it was, 5,000 yards, 9 picks, that registers when you look at it at the end of the day. And holy crap, that team's on a roll. It's hard to do that with a coach. Oh, that team's on a roll, but let's talk about the coaching. The players, the quarterbacks are more fun to talk about than the head coaches.
You get to December next year, and the Bill's with the Cowboys, and he's 12-2.
Oh,
and the Patriots are 6-8.
You're like, Jesus
which you're
Christmas.
saying, hey, is an improvement,
Yes.
right? You've already won more games than you did a year ago, but how does that look? How does it look when Bill's in the playoffs and winning playoff games, and you're just missing out again? That would be a tough pill for them to swallow. So I think they should be thankful that he is not going to land in a place like Dallas. And it looks like it's going to be Atlanta, which requires some work on that roster.
It's hard to understand what makes that guy tick. It really is. Because, just being around him for all these years and doing the stuff with him, like, just these teams that we would get and, doing the plays and, this team's stupid. Look at this, Atlanta or, Carolina, teams that just, fade into oblivion. And now he's going to be part of that. Like, what's the mojo there? What gets him going?
He likes to rise up.
I get his age. I'd sit out a year. Why are you taking this job? Why are you taking?
Well, because of his age. He's got 2 or 3 years. And why does Atlanta want it? For that period. That's a team that I look at and said they're not close. It's a team that you would think is close, like Dallas. Jesus, all they talked about was Super Bowl in the pregame show. Christ almighty, they're not even close. They can't win a divisional game. But yet we anoint that team. We just thought he would get him over the hump. Or the Chargers. Or Buffalo. Say Buffalo imploded last week. They're not going to fire McDermott. They're in divisional round against the Chiefs. They already made their goals. Now you're there. You're hosting a divisional game. 1 game away from the AFC title game. Not going to fire him. They won, 6 in a row? No way. Not happening. Cross Buffalo off. Cross them off the list.
Not available. Not open.
You're going to a place that doesn't have a quarterback. You just did this.
Who's this? That's the thing. Who's this quarterback? T-Bone was in the bathroom. We were talking, who's this quarterback?
Taylor
Who's he
Heineke.
No, who's he going after?
He's not going there to have Desmond Ridder as his quarterback. It's got to be. He's got to.
He doesn't want to coach a rookie again. No, I'm saying say they have a top 10 pick, right?
8.
Yeah.
They have the 8th overall pick.
Okay. After Jaden Daniels, who's going to be available to you? What are you going to reach for Bo Nix?
Bo Nix or Michael Penix or
the kid from Michigan? Forgot his name already. JJ McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's what he wants.
It goes like Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, someone like that, drops them in.
Bill Belichick, Russell Wilson has some juice to it.
I think it does.
Kind of does. Yeah.
Those two desperate guys. I got to get the wins. You got to save your career. Yeah. You got to prove that you can still play. I mean, Russ threw some balls in a Denver game. He could still fire it. Some frozen ropes. Yeah. I'm not saying Russ Wilson's done.
I think Sean Payton tried to humble Russell Wilson this year, and he did something that just resulted in him being embarrassed, which was just yelling at him all the time on the sideline.
Yeah.
Right? If there's someone that could truly humble him in a way that isn't embarrassing to him, it might be Bill Belichick.
See, Sean's an offensive
Listen,
guy.
Russ,
Like Bill's a defensive guy.
I'm the coach. I'm the boss. You just listen to me the whole time. That's how this is going to work.
He's not getting an office next to Bill like
No.
he did in Denver? No?
No, I'm thinking he would pretty quickly learn that this is how it goes. You don't like it? Well, I once got rid of Tom Brady. So
Russell Wilson working with Josh McDaniels.
Russell would know right away that the head coach at no turn will give in to any of his desires.
And I don't
None.
know. I don't know what the contract looks like as to what the settlement was, but for the walking price, because you would think, Patriots settled here. I don't know what they have to pay Bill. Would Bill go to Atlanta and say, "Hey, pay me a very small salary because I want to make sure they pay"? I don't know how that works. I'm just trying to look at it from if everybody thinks he's as spiteful as he is, would Bill operate that way, or would just Atlanta, you got to pay me?
Contract is the contract. He still has to get paid.
I know that.
His salary in Atlanta, and the Pats make up the difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's the
What
big
if he-
deal?
what if
What's
he
the big
comes
deal
in-
about that?
What if he comes in low? So just pay me cheap. Pay me.
Oh,
two-
you
pay,
can't.
Pay me $2 million.
There's rules against that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're-
what the rules are.
Yeah, the Falcons can't do that.
Yeah.
No, that's not a thing. The Patriots only do that with throwaway head coaches like Joe Judge and Matt Patricia.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you can pull that when you're
Right.
giving them advisor roles and you're not even naming them as a coordinator. You can't do that with a head coach. He's named the head coach. He has to be paid a salary commensurate with being the head coach of the team. So you can't just give him $500,000 a year and have the Pats make up the rest. No, you can't do that. There's typically language against those things. You can't do it. Or you end up in court. And in this league, it doesn't even get that far. The league would step in and say, no,